Hello, thank you so much for joining me today for Fitness Made Simple. This is a 60-minute strengthening and toning class using both our own body weight and some simple tools. If you don't have hand weights at home, you can opt to do the moves without them or use soup cans. If you don't have a resistance band, that's fine. Again, do the moves without, or maybe utilize a towel to add just a little resistance. Exercise ball is soft. You might have a child's ball at home, something more along the lines of a beach ball that you can squeeze. That would be an option as well. Or again, you don't have to use any of the tools. As always, it's recommended that you check with a physician before starting any exercise program. And be sure to work at your own pace today in your own comfort level. I will be your instructor. My name is Leslee Blanch, and I'm Family Consumer Science Associate Extension Educator with the University of Idaho, working in Bonneville County, Idaho. You can add your own music and put on some of your favorite tunes, or just do the workout without music in the background if music is not necessary. Keep some water handy and take a look around. Make sure your space is clear of any trip and fall hazards. With that being said, let's get warmed up. We're going to just do a little marching, lifting those arms. We always want to warm up muscles before we work them. And do some active stretching. So active stretching is what I'm doing with my arms. It's a slow, controlled movement. I'm reaching, but I'm moving them as well. Let's roll those shoulders back and down. And then forward and around. Again, back and down. We really want our shoulders to live away from our ears. So think about today keeping space between the ears and the shoulders. Let's begin to move around your living space a little bit. Be backward, forward, in circles, whatever works for you. We're going to start stretching those hands. We will be doing some gripping with our tools today. So we're going to limber up, warm up those fingers, finger joints, and gently shake it out. Let's do a little side stepping. This chair does utilize, or this class utilizes a chair. So if you haven't had a chance to get one of those, go ahead and grab a chair. We'll be doing both seated and standing poses. Let's change these side steps to little kicks. Those kicks can be straight in front. If you don't have hip issues, you might want to cross, drawing on these oblique muscles, sides of the waist, tightening, lengthening, and strengthening. 4, 3, 2, 1. Little kick straight forward. Change that to toe taps. Now we're stretching the front muscle along the shin and in the top of the foot. You can stay where you're at. You can be holding your chair, or you can travel a bit. Maybe add some swim arms. Continue to warm up those shoulders. And a little back stroke. If you feel comfortable traveling backward, go ahead and do so. And back to a nice march. Take a deep breath and open the chest and then reach it forward. Deep breath in, reaching to the sky. Open, exhale. And we're going to come by that chair. You don't have to use it, but it's there if you'd like it. As we march a little wider. Start adding some knee lifts here. They're wide knees. You can let one hand flow or both, or maybe you want both hands on that chair. We want each of you to feel stable. We are working on balance when we shift to one foot and the other, and that's great for fall prevention, but we've always got that chair to help us with that balance. Here we've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's come. You can be behind or beside your chair. I'll stand beside so you can just see what I'm doing here. My toes are open. I'm going to just do a nice deep bend, knee bend. It's also known as plie in ballet, yoga squat in yoga. I've got My heels pressing down into the earth as I lift. And just keep breathing. We never want to hold our breath when we're exercising, so keep that breath flowing during this session today. Back stays tall. We've got 3 more. 2. And choices. You can remain in that plie position or stand as we lift alternate heels. So you choose. The plie is going to call on a little more thigh muscle, quadricep. But standing is a great option as well. We're warming up those ankle joints. 3, 2, 1. Press those heels into the earth. Stand. And let's just march in place. Take that deep breath. We're going to do a little toning first. Using our own body weight, we're going to work on the back of that thigh. Standing on your right leg, left knee is pointing toward the earth as we lift and lower that foot. I'm flexing the foot or making it flat. As I press the heel away from my body, it helps engage this hamstring muscle. You can put your hand back there, you'll feel it working. We are standing tall, shoulders back and down, and then just think of pulling that belly button toward the spine. Little balance here, holding onto your chair, lift and lower that right heel. You can have both hands on the chair. 3, 2, hold it, and let's shift the weight. I'm gonna do a little Marilyn Monroe walk. Single, single, and then hold. Let that weight sink into that right hip. Single, single, hold. Weight into the left. We'll do that again. Single, single, pressing that right heel to the earth. Single, single, and left heel to the earth. All right, other leg. Right knee is pointing toward the earth. Left knee is slightly bent. We don't want to lock our joints when we stand. Let's flex that right foot and just think of trying to kick your bottom. We're literally trying to do that. Now your hamstring curl might be here. If you're feeling work on the back of that thigh, that's perfect for you. Listen to your body, working at your own pace, your own comfort level. You might want to challenge yourself, but you don't want to cross the line into pain. Let's do 3 more. Lift. And lift and hold. We're breathing as we lift and lower your left heel now for calf raises. Really strengthening the lower left leg here. Lift and hold for balance on tippy toes. And let's rock through the feet this time. Lifting heels, then toes. Heels, then toes. All right, let's grab the ball. If you have one, if you don't, you can do the moves without the ball. You can either be standing, marching, or you may choose to sit down at this point. You could even march in your chair. We're just getting those hands warmed up. So again, you could be opening and closing those hands or mashing that ball. Think of kneading dough. You're really getting into it. Just mash, mash, mash that ball. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's all sit down. Great time for a little sip of water. Have that water handy. You feel free to get water whenever you need it. Okay, we're sitting comfortably in that chair. Back is tall. Let's do a little posture check. Are those shoulders back and down? Is that abdominal engaged? Think of pulling that belly button toward the spine. And then we don't want to overarch the lower back, so we want to tuck those hips under just a tad. Envision your tailbone pressing down toward the earth. And we are ready to start pressing for upper body strength. You can press the ball very lightly. You can really try to flatten it. But those elbows are wide. Press. You'll feel the chest working, upper back here. You can just do some little lifts with your hands if you don't have that ball. In fact, we're all going to squeeze either our hands together or the ball and do those little lifts. Upper back is working, shoulders, chest, arms, even our wrists are getting strengthened. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale. We'll do that again. But lift your right knee this time and tap the ball to the knee. Inhale, exhale. It's slow motion. We're letting those core muscles, those stomach muscles, tighten as we lift that knee. You may feel your heart rate get up a little bit during this class, but this is not designed to be a heart pumping aerobic class, cardiovascular. We're focusing more on those muscles and strengthening bone. Throwing in some flexibility and balance as well. 2 more knee lifts. So movements tend to be more slow and controlled. Inhale. Now as we exhale, turn to your right and just bring that ball toward your hip or right thigh. Inhale, come up center. Exhale, rotate from the waist, lowering down. One more set. It's a deep breath in, gentle turn, and exhale down. Inhale and exhale down. One more, breathing in, reach, stretch up out of those shoulders, and then slowly bring the knees about hip width apart, and we're going to put that ball just above the knees in the inner thighs. Move those feet in a little bit so you can get a good grip on that ball. If you don't have the ball, put your feet together and we'll be opening and closing. If you have the ball, your feet are a little wider. Give that ball a squeeze or squeeze your knees together and then squeeze, squeeze. So if you don't have the ball, it's more of an open, open. If you have the ball, the focus is more central. Are we engaging that core? Are we pulling the stomach inward? Tailbone down, or think of tucking the hips under just a tad. And of course, we're sitting tall, working on posture as we work on strength. Let's squeeze and hold. Squeeze and hold. Alternate knee, or not knee lifts, but leg extension, starting with your right. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. I'm squeezing that ball. Using isometric strength to tone those inner thighs. You'll feel it in the hips a bit. Lifting, little quad kick, I'm strengthening the front thigh muscles, quadriceps, 4 large muscles. Largest muscles set in our body. Okay, 2 more each leg. Keep squeezing that ball. You're also squeezing your tummy in tight. And we're breathing, lots of things going on. Go ahead, lift that right leg. Give the ball a fresh squeeze. And let's strengthen that ankle. Simply lowering and lifting the toes. Press the heel away from your body, toes toward the sky, or maybe they're even facing you a little bit. Stretch out the back of that calf. Slowly bend. And the other leg. We're squeezing that ball. Lower, lift the toes. Make sure you're taking some deep breaths. And pressing that heel away from the body. Nice tight squeeze, isometric strength with the assistance of that ball. And lower it down. Let's do a little toss and catch as we march in that chair. Just get some circulation back in those legs. Hand-eye coordination. We are working our brain as well. You can challenge yourself. Toss it off to the side. Maybe a little bit in front of you or behind you. Make yourself reach. One more toss. And we're ready to work those arms. This is a modified bicep curl. Placing the ball in your elbow. We're going to press that ball with the heel or palm of our hand right into our shoulder. If you don't have a ball, do some bicep curls. You can even have that hand out about shoulder height. The ball adds resistance. Smaller range of motion with the ball because we don't want it to roll away. You can even kind of hold it with that top hand there. Press. We're engaging the front upper arm muscle. 4 more, or take a break. 3, 2, and 1. We're squeezing isometric strength. Try to pop that ball. Press, 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 and relax. Rolling the ball into your right hand. It's a long arm. Elbows not locked though. We're just doing a nice pendulum swing. Think of bowling. We can all say we got a strike. Hey, when we're using our imagination, we can get a strike. That's about the only way I can get one. Let's change sides. Placing the ball in your left elbow. Left palm or heel of your hand will gently press into that shoulder. And you can press harder or keep it light. You might say, oh, this really hurts this side. Take the ball out. You don't have to use the tools. You can do some with, some without. 4 more now. We've got 4, 3, 2. Isometric strength as we press and hold. Let's strengthen that abdominal. Pull the belly button toward the spine. Hold it in. One thing we're not holding is our breath. Keep that breath flowing. And release. Nice, gentle pendulum swing. Works on shoulder mobility. We want to keep our joints well lubricated. We're like a bicycle chain. We let ourselves get rusty. It can get kind of stuck and painful, but if we keep those joints moving, it's really to our advantage. All right, let's place that ball just above the knees again, feet about hip width apart. We'll start with some pulse or some big squeezes, then we'll go to fast, smaller pulses. 4 more big ones. Adjust that ball as you need to. Now small and fast. Small and fast. Those without a ball, just keep opening and closing those legs, feet together. 4, 3, 2, and squeeze and hold. Let's stretch as we're doing some isometric strengthening for those thighs. One arm comes down toward the floor, the other's reaching toward the sky. And release the pressure on that ball for a moment. Let's squeeze the ball. Inhale, stretch. Keep breathing as we hold the stretch and hold the pressure on the ball. Release it down. Very nice. Let's open those legs. We're going to rotate from our waist toward that right thigh. Placing the ball on the thigh, stack the hands, and we're ready to press. Press. Notice I'm keeping my back long. I'm not curving those shoulders. Lead with your chin. Think of bringing your ribs toward that ball. Press. You could be doing this without the ball. Engage that core either way. Now press and hold. Belly button toward the spine. We're trying to pop that ball. These balls are pretty strong. I have yet to have somebody pop them, but we can try. We're pumping it back up. Take a nice big stretch. Inhale, exhale as you rotate toward your left leg. Once again, stack those hands. It's a tall, long back. We're hinging forward at those hips. Pull the belly button toward the spine and ribs toward that ball. Breathing. Breathing. 4 more. And press and hold. Isometric strength gives us a good moment to focus on that abdominal muscle. Pulling it in. Relax a little bit. Pump that ball. And a nice big stretch. Inhale, exhale to the side. Tap the ball down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, we're going to do some shoulder mobility, like making little sideways figure 8s. And you've got choices. You can stick with this or do a different move. You're threading the needle as you lift that right leg, bring the ball under. Thread the needle in the middle, down and under. Slow, controlled, and we're really pulling that belly button inward to protect that lower back and strengthen the back. We've got 2 more each leg. Keep breathing. Move those legs more center and a little shoulder rotation. We're just lightly holding that ball as we take some deep breaths. Lifting up, little tricep warm up. You may be touching the top of your head, the back of your head, or even your neck. But we're trying to stay tall. I'm not going to press my head forward. I'm going to keep my ears above my shoulders. 2 more. And then we've got one last ball exercise. Placing that ball right in the small of your back. I'll turn so you can see me. We're going to do a great abdominal and lower back strengthening. Just scooch on back so that ball is secure. Feet are gently pressing into the earth. You can even hold your chair for a little more resistance. Inhale, sitting tall. When you exhale, the only thing that's moving is this middle. We're trying to flatten that ball. I'm still keeping my shoulders tall. Exhale on that contraction. Inhale, release. And you can adjust the ball as needed, pressing the balls of your feet into the earth. Take a break, or try 4 more, or maybe part of 4. Exhale on that strong part, that strong abdominal right here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We have 1 more. And I like to hold this last one. Not holding our breath. Keep breathing, but we're just training those abdominal muscles to come inward, which will support that back and over time can decrease back pain as well. So press that belly button toward the spine into the ball into the chair, and release. Wonderful, we are done with that ball. Let's get some water. We're going to do some standing toning with our own body weight. Before we do that, you can march in place. You can have your hands on your chair, or you can be traveling. Go ahead and give yourself a hug. You did a great job with that first segment. Gentle squeeze, and then just open that chest. Open that chest. Take it up. Love wrist circles, little wrist circles, and wiggle those fingers out. You may be behind or beside your chair. I'm going to try to be at an angle where you can see what I'm doing. We're going to start with squats. Feet about hip bone width apart. That back will stay long. I'm going to press my behind me. So we squat and lift. You can stay with the squats or maybe add a little right knee lift. Slowly squat. Left knee lift and squat. You decide. Knee lifts are optional. Engaging your core is not optional. Let's protect that lower back. Squat and lift. 1 more set. And just squat and hold. Look down, make sure your knees aren't protruding past your toes. And then if it feels all right for your knees, add a gentle pulse. Again, that's up to you. You may want to just sit. You may want to sit a little taller in a stool. Let's all rise. Rock through the feet. I'm lifting my toes, lifting my heels. And then we're going to do some toning for the side of that thigh abductor muscle. Again, both hands or 1 hand on the chair. Weight on that left leg, knee is soft. Long right leg. We're going to keep both sets of toes facing forward. Think of pushing the air with the outside of that right foot. 4 more. 3, 2, same leg. I'm going to do a very small leg lift back. I'm protecting that lower back. I'm trying not to arch it. Telling my brain to squeeze that gluteus muscle. Squeeze. Pressing my right heel toward the earth is going to help tone that gluteus or buttocks muscle. 1 more. We're going to combine that. Let's do 1 side leg lift. one back lift. You decide how large or small that side leg lift is. Doesn't have to be big, but keep the back lift small. 4 more sets, or you know you can take a break anytime. 3, and back. 2, and back. Last one, and back. Let's do our little alternate heel lifts, shifting the weight in our hips. Okay, we are ready for the other side. You'll be standing on your right leg. Your left leg will be lifting, toes are tracking forward. So shoulders, hips, toes, knees all in alignment forward. And begin your side leg lifts. Let's make sure that right knee is slightly bent. We don't need to stress our joints. All right, take some breaths. We've got 4 more lifts to the side. And let's do some to the back. This is that small lift. We're pressing our heel toward the earth, squeezing right here. Doesn't take much lift to really work that buttocks. 4, 3, 2, we're ready to combine it. We're getting fancy. Let's go side, small lift to the back, side and back, side and back. You decide if you want to take a little rest break or keep going. 4 and back, 3, 2, last one, lift behind. Let's march it out this time. Nice big reach, pull down, reach, pull down. If you're not comfortable having hands off the chair, do one arm at a time. And then we're going to grab our exercise bands or towels, get some water on the way, and we get to sit down. These bands, if you're not familiar with them, are resistance bands. I know you can get them at retail stores such as Walmart, Target, etc. $10 for a pack of 3, light, medium, and a heavier resistance. Also available online. Just Google an exercise resistance bands. Sitting comfortably, let's do a posture check. Shoulders back and down. Abdominals pulled in, think tight middle. Tailbone toward that chair. If it feels all right for your shoulders, lift straight overhead. If not, you can come out to the front. We're going to bend those elbows just a tad as we pull. Where are you feeling this? Definitely some shoulders, upper back. Are you feeling in the chest? Our forearms and wrists are working. Let's lower it about eyebrow or forehead level. Still keeping those elbows slightly bent. Bring it down about chest level. We're going to hold and then do some little pulses. Think of knocking on 2 walls with the side of your fists. And then we lift. Keep that right arm up. We're going to do a little lat pull with the left arm. Pull down. You may choose, for a little bit of cardio, to be standing and marching in place when you're doing this. That's fine. You can get creative. Just be safe. Listen to your body. We've got 3 more lat pulls, left arm. 2 and 1. Let's take it up. We're going to start that set over. It'll be a little shorter set. Let it come eyebrow level. Take a break if you need it. Chest level. Elbows soft. Let's knock, knock, knock on those walls with the side of our fists. Keep breathing. Lift. Now that left arm is our anchor. Right arm pulls down. I'm bringing my upper arm to my ribs. Lat pull. It gets those muscles right at the side of your back, side of your upper back. Take a break or join me for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's reach up. Release that band a little bit. Grabbing a hold the back of your chair, kind of low. I want you to just hinge forward at the hips. We're keeping the back long. And when your arms are extended, but not to a painful degree, just let that stretch happen right there across the chest. Tuck the hip bones under a little bit. Again, we want to be cognizant of that lower back, protecting. Turn to your right. Slowly turn and look to your left. Bringing that chin to the front, level with the earth. We'll sit up tall, open, inhale. Now you get to curve the back toward the chair. You're hugging a great big tree. Exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale. 1 more time, reach out. Now we're gonna reach up. And exhale down. We're ready to work the lower body with the band. If you don't have a band, just do the move without. We're placing that band right in the middle of your shoe. Extend your leg long and plant that heel on the floor. Toes are facing the sky. I'm gonna just slide my elbows back till I have the amount of tension I want on that band. I'm securing my wrists or forearms to my side. Hands will be anchoring that band. We're gonna do knee lifts. Let's start with 8. Here we go. Lift and lower. Keeping our back tall and still. Just that leg is moving. 4 more. Here we go. Lift, stretch out that band. Lift, stretch it out. We're going to stretch it out, plant that heel on the floor. Now we're just moving the arms. It's a slide back and release the hands toward the knee. Elbows toward the chair, hands toward the knee. What are we doing with that belly button? What are we doing with our breath? How about our tailbone? Is it pointing to that chair? Let's hold, do another set. 8, 7, we can slow this down. Using muscle, not momentum. If you want a little more challenge, grab that band lower to make it tighter. If it's too challenging, loosen it a bit. That's what's nice about these bands. Let's press down with the heel. We're going to place both bands in the right arm. As we slide our elbow back, just rotate from the waist towards your right. And then let everything release to the front. Exhale, rotate, release to the front. One thing nice about these bands is you can adjust the resistance from exercise to exercise or from day to day by stretching them bigger or smaller. The width that you hold them, the length of the band initially. We've got 1 more. We're working that core, middle, abdominal muscles. Great job. Let's change legs. We're putting that under our left foot now, right in the middle of the shoe. Long leg, left heel on the ground. Once again, we'll start with the legs. So anchor those wrists or forearms at your side and lift. Lift. Again, you can adjust the tension on that band. If you want it more resistant, make it a shorter band. If you want a little easier, make it a longer band. Do 1 more. We're going to plant that heel on the ground. Back stays tall and still. Release the hands toward the knee. Elbows slide toward the chair. Check that posture. Check your core. Keep breathing. 4 more. Or, as always, feel free to take a break at any point during any set of exercise. And hold. Second set with that leg. 8, extend. 7. We're trying to bring that knee as close to the rib cage as we can. Halfway there, lift, stretch it out. Lift, stretch it out. This is our last one. Heel is anchored on the earth. Release the band and put both sides of the band in your left hand. We're going to slide the left elbow back and turn toward your left. It's all one simultaneous movement. Release. So we're inhaling on the release. Exhale on the rotation and the arm work. Inhale. Exhale. We have 3 more. Rhythmic breath. And release. So we did both arms and legs in that set. We're going to take a little break, make a picture frame, and then do a profile pose, turning to your right. Just hold that neck stretch for a moment. Take a deep breath, inhale, bring that gaze forward, exhale, turn to your left. Keep breathing. Bring that gaze forward. And we are ready for some arms. What we're going to do is just lightly wrap that band once, right here, place it at your chest. Lifting that elbow. We're going to pull the band, but if you don't have a band, you can do this. You're still toning the back of that upper arm. Check your posture, engage those abdominal muscles, and pull. It's straight out from that anchor hand. We're keeping the elbow about shoulder height. If that doesn't feel good for you, take it lower. You can press at a diagonal. Now hold it halfway. Knock, knock, knock on the door with the side of your fist. And pause. Second set. Let's do 8 big ones. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it halfway. Knock, knock, knock. Now you can take a break or actually open that elbow to the side. It's a bigger range of motion. It's a bigger pull, so you might have more resistance. Or slide your hand to make that band a little longer, to get just the right amount of challenge without pain. 2 more. And hold, lower that arm. Let's take a break. Stretching that left arm at a diagonal across your chest. We're stretching that hand that we've done so much gripping with. And you already deserve a pat on the back. Go ahead and pat yourself on the back, gently lifting that left elbow. Take a nice deep breath and a big side bend. We're ready for the other side. So that left arm isn't going to be working other than stationary isometric strength right here at your chest. You don't want that band tight around your hand. With or without the band, we're bringing that fist straight out from our chest. The goal is to have the elbow shoulder height, but you don't have to be there today. Maybe here. Let's hold midway and knock, knock, knock with the side of that fist. Keep breathing. Pause, second set. 8, 7, 6. Keep going. We're tucking those hips under just a tad. 4, 3, 2, and halfway, knock, knock, knock. Take a break or open that arm to the side. We're working primarily the back of that upper right arm, but you can feel your forearm really working. Look at those muscles. Wrist and hands are being strengthened, both muscle and bone. Hold and release. Go ahead, let that band drop on your lap or on the floor as we stretch that right arm diagonally across the chest. Stretching, opening, closing that hand. Reach around toward the left shoulder, gently lifting that right elbow. And open up. I'm going to bring my elbow slightly behind my back just to stretch this front shoulder area. And a nice big side bend. We'll do one more exercise for the lower body with the band, and this is similar to what we did with the ball. And again, it can be done without the ball. Let's place those feet together, knees together. Band is about midway under those thighs, and I'm just going to exchange hands here to make an X. That's my tension. So glue your elbows to your side. You can pull it tighter or make it looser as we just open and close those thighs. If this bothers your tendons behind your knees, slide it a little more toward your hips, or just do the move without the band. Again, the band just adds a little challenge through resistance. Now open, hold it, take a deep breath in, exhale, knees together. Let's do a final 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, we're almost there. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to sit up. You can either sit or stand. I'm going to go ahead and stand on this one. The band is right behind your waist. And we're just going to pull, pull, pull. If you're standing with me, those knees are slightly bent. You've got a nice wide base for stability. This can be done very effectively seated as well. Let's open up into a V. Elbows are coming back toward my ribs each time. Set of 4 to the front for 4, 3, 2, and wide. 4, 3, 2, and one more set to the front. Last 4, wide. And then just do a little lift to the back. Release that band. We are done with the band. Standing, we're going to wrap around. You can travel or not. That's up to you. Stretch the arms in whatever manner it feels good to you. Be creative. Or maybe use a stretch you've done in another class. We did a lot of upper body, but we've got more to come with the weights. If your muscles are already saying that's enough, you can do the moves without the weights. Let's do some toning again for the lower body using our own body weight. Standing to the left side of your chair, your right foot is your anchor. Left arm up, you're going to lunge back with the left leg and simply tap by the other foot, by the right foot. Lunge, tap. Now choices, you can add a knee lift instead of a tap. Maybe do some of each. See what works best for you today. Things can be different day to day. Our balance can be different. Flexibility. So as always, listen to that body. 4 more. Lunge, lift. We're engaging those stomach muscles when we lift that knee. We're almost there. Now just relax, point the toe. Not totally relaxing. We're still working that quadricep. We'll do this move later, adding some weight. March it on over to the other side of your chair. Got to do that on both sides. Left leg is your anchor. Bend that knee a little bit. Right arm up. We're ready to lunge back with the right. Tap that right foot in. You can stick with that tap. Or join me with a knee lift. Exhale. Inhale on the stretch. Exhale forward. You can slow this down. Remember, we're no rush with toning and strengthening. 2 more sets here. Holding that knee up. It takes strength in this quadricep simply to hold that leg up. And now we're adding movement as well. 2 more. And let's march it out. March on over to your water. And then go ahead and grab your hand weights, your soup cans, or you may opt to do without any resistance. I have to find my water. There it is. All right. Don't want to lose that water. Very important to hydrate well before exercise, during, and after. All right, keeping head above heart, using good body mechanics, keeping a straight back, lifting with your legs. Let's get those weights if you choose. We're actually going to start with just one weight while we do a little standing work. We're back to the right side of our chair. Soft left knee. Point that right toe like you're just barely balancing. And we're going to do a little one-legged squat. So it looks like this from the side. Keeping long back. I'm pressing my behind me. It's mostly that left buttocks muscle that's getting the work. You can keep that right foot on the earth or add a knee lift. Now we've got that weight. More muscle is called into action. Let's go lift more weight. 4. Feel free to take a break. 3. And keep breathing. And then join back in for some leg extensions. Again, I not only have to hold up my own leg weight, I'm holding the extra hand weight. You can be using weights 1 pound all the way up to 10 pounds, 12 pounds. Usually people are in about the 4 to 6 range, but depends if you're already used to using weights, what your joints are. I used to be able to use a lot heavier weights, but my elbow and wrist joints just don't handle that well anymore. So you got to listen to your body and adjust. Bring that weight, if you're using a weight, into your left hand. Coming to the left side of your chair, stand on your right leg. Knees are soft. Now, if you have that weight, secure it at the middle of your left thigh. Squat and stand. Long back, tight middle. Begin the knee lift if you choose to today. Exhale, inhale, or vice versa. Just think 1 breath per movement. Back into that imaginary chair. We've got 4 more. You're doing great out there. I know you are. 3, 2, and we're going to stand tall and strong. Engage those abdominals. You can keep the toe pointed or just relax the foot. Make sure that weight is secure. We've got 4 more quad kicks. Those big muscles on the front of our thighs. And release. Feel free to grab water. We're going to transition back into that chair. Let's take a moment to just breathe, replenish that oxygen. We not only want to replenish our water, our hydration, but replenish that oxygen. The muscles are using lots of oxygen as they're working. 1 more deep breath. And let's wiggle those fingers out. We're ready to go to upper body. Strong arms. Let's have those feet at least hip width apart, maybe wider. Elbows about shoulder height. And lift and lower. So I'm using my full range of motion. I'm extending the arms toward the sky, but without locking my elbows. You'll notice those elbows are slightly bent, even when I'm reaching high. 1 more big. Press that tailbone into the chair and small, small. Every muscle in those hands, arms, shoulders are working. Let's go back to 4 big or take a break. 4, 3, 2, we've got 1 more, and back to goalpost arms, small lifts. And let's all take a break. Gently roll those shoulders back and around. Maybe some gentle half circles with the neck. And bringing our head forward, chin level with the earth. We're going to practice getting in and out of the car. Let's start with the right leg. It's a lift out and a lift in. Lots of choices on this move. You can choose to do it without the weight. Maybe you're getting kind of fatigued now. Feel free to not use the weight. Maybe you don't want that lift. Maybe you just want to open and close with the weight or without that weight. Let's do 4 more of your choice. We are pulling that belly button in to protect that lower back. 2 more sets. Deep breathing. Nice big inhale. Exhale. Check your posture. Shoulders back and down. Stomach engaged, tailbone to the chair, left leg. Choices with the weight, without the weight, without the lift, or maybe just open and close without the weight. All right, we have our final 4. We're lifting, we're working the hip flexors, those muscles that attach our thighs to our hips. Quadriceps are definitely working, and I hope those abdominals are working. Let's throw 1 more in just for good measure. And relax. Alternate heel lifts and toes. These little moves you can do while you're waiting at a stoplight, watching TV. You can do this whole routine while you're watching TV, really. But you want to think of ways to sneak in a flexibility, balance, and movement during your day. Bicep curls, we're working that front upper arm muscle. Scooch a little bit forward on your chair, but still stable. Feet are comfortable width apart, and we're going to just glue those upper arms to our side. Palms are facing away from the chair as we curl and lower, slow, controlled. If you find yourself doing this, even slightly, you might want to try it without the weight, or if you have lighter weights at home or soup cans, go with that. The goal is not to lift a heavy, heavy weight and have poor form. We want to keep that form good. Remember, we're protecting the lower back, strengthening, not straining. Now we're going to lift and lower for 3, 2, 1. You may choose to sit out this little set, and that's fine. 3, 2, 1. Let's exhale on the lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, inhale. 2 more sets or take a break. Lift, lower, 2, 3. Lift and lower. And relax. Okay, time to give yourself another hug. Just make sure those weights are secure, either on your lap, chair, or the floor. Very slowly rotate to your right. And then to your left. Okay, we've got those weights on the thighs. We're going to lift the right knee, quad kick, bend, and lower. Same leg, lift, extend, bend, and lower. What are we doing with that middle? Tightening it up. Tailbone to that chair. Lift, extend, bend, and lower. One more, lift, extend, bend, and lower. Other side, we lift the left, extend, bend, and lower. Lift, extend, bend, and lower. Same pattern. Keep the breath flowing. No particular pattern on that breathing. We've got 2 more sets. Let's lift, extend, bend, and lower. Lift, extend, bend, bringing those feet together, just showing you. You can also do this move with the weights. We did it with the balls, with the bands. You can do it without any weight. You're exercising inner and outer thighs, and those hips are getting some work as well. Just a couple more. Triceps. We're going to turn to the side, hinge forward at the hips. Just let that left hand, or whichever hand is closest to your chair, rest on your thigh. We're keeping the back long. We're going to lift, do a little tricep kickback. We're almost done with the weight section. And you can always forward to the cool down stretch, which we'll be doing in just a couple minutes here. Pretend there's a line, straight line, or a yardstick from the back of your tip of your skull in the back there to your tailbone. Keeping that back long. One more. Now we're just going to lower and lift. Lots of shoulder work here. 2 more. Let's try combining that. Extend, bend, lower, lift. Extend, bend, lower, lift. When you extend, you're not locking that elbow. 1 more set. Lift. And just lower, sit tall. Let's walk those legs to the other side. Doesn't matter which side you started with. The hand closest to your chair is going to rest on that thigh. Tall back, hinge forward, and we are ready for tricep kickbacks on this side. Really, the only thing we want to be moving is from the elbow down. So we're engaging all those stomach muscles. Keeping that straight line from the tip of our skull and back to our tailbone. 2 more. We are ready to bring that hand to the side and just lower and lift. Lower and lift. Keeping our breath flowing. We're almost there. You've all done a great job today. Let's combine it. It's extend, bend, lower, and lift. Extend, bend, lower, 2 more, extend and lower. Extend and lower, and we're sitting tall. Take a moment, bring one ear to one shoulder. Gotta get that neck stretching in there. You'll feel a little stretch from right behind your ear all the way down into that shoulder bone right here. Slowly lift. Take a moment to breathe. Make sure you're not dizzy. If you're feeling okay, other side. Keep that breath flowing. And slowly lift. Very nice. We're going to do one more arm exercise. I'll turn a little bit to the side, keeping the back long. Inch forward just a tad at the hips. Then you're coming around. You're going to hug that great big tree. And then gently bring those elbows back. So important to pull that belly button toward the spine. And breathe. One breath to the front, opposite breath open. Take a break, or maybe lower the weights. Do this without weights, or join me for 4 more. Here we go. 4. Tighten that belly button to the spine. These are challenging. My muscles are saying, are we done yet? So it's challenging for me too. You can do it without weights if you decide to. And we are done. Keeping head above heart. Let's place those weights aside. We're going to sit for our stretches today. We've done about 60 minutes of stretching or strengthening and toning. If you have time, please stick around for about 5 minutes of stretching. So important to stretch after we've worked, even after walking. Stretch those legs and hips, even stretch the arms. So we're doing some flowing or active stretching like we did in our warm-up. But now that our muscles are very warm, we can do some static stretching, reaching, holding. Let's pull that top shoulder back and look toward the sky. You'll feel a nice deep stretch right here. That is lengthening and toning the sides of the waist, oblique muscle. Other side, breathing in. Exhale, gentle tip to the side. Just keep breathing as we open up that shoulder, looking toward the ceiling. Coming down, a little cat-cow. Again, I'll turn slightly to the side. Back is long. We're doing a little seated yoga here. Bring our chest toward the earth, head above heart, and then gently curve the back like a cat stretch to sit back up. Inhale forward. Exhale, curl. It's a nice little gentle undulating motion for the spine. Flexion and extension of the spine. It just feels good, but it's strengthening as well. One more. And let's take those arms out. Let those fingertips just naturally fall. We don't want to yank them or force anything. We're stretching this forearm, little wrist area, even the palms of our hands and fingers. Curling the fingertips toward your heels of your hand. Lift those knuckles a little bit to the sky. If you feel a stretch right here, we need to stretch those hands too. We don't always think about muscles in our hands until they start to hurt. But this also keeps the joints flexible, so less pain. And one more time, relax down. Curling the fingertips to the shoulders now, tucking those hips under. Let's just hold that chest open. You'll notice my elbows are coming slightly behind my back. They don't have to be. You listen to your body. It's where you feel a feel-good stretch, not pain, through your chest. Same thing with this move. You might want to stop here. Maybe that's a great stretch through your shoulder blades. Maybe you need to bring it a little tighter. Lifting can help really make the most of that stretch through the shoulder blades. One more time, let's open. We're still breathing. We're tucking those hips under slightly. When you're ready, elbows close together, whatever close together is for you. And a small lift. All right, let's reach back toward that chair. One of my favorites, body weight just pulling forward. Make sure you have hold of that chair. Looking to your right. Looking down at the earth, chin to chest. Bringing the chin toward your left shoulder now. Bringing our gaze forward. We're going to do this stretch again at a diagonal across. Add the hand stretch. Reach around. Yes, you still deserve pats on the back. If you lift that elbow a little, you'll find a little more effective shoulder stretch. Stretch the front of that shoulder. Can you gently bring that elbow back a little further, not crossing the line to pain? Just a, wow, does that feel good stretch? Big inhale, exhale, flexible wrists, other arm at a diagonal across that chest. So if there are days that you know this is going to be a 65-minute take with the stretching, think I don't have that time, you can always fast forward, whoops, pat ourselves on the back, to a different segment, but make sure you don't skip the stretching. Very important. We want to minimize and ultimately avoid risk of injury. If you're just starting some of these resistance exercises, you may be a little sore. That's normal. If it's excruciating pain, maybe reconsider doing without the tools. Let's hinge forward at the hips. And of course, check with your physician. We're stretching the biceps, front of the upper arm. My palms are toward the floor here. Lift, inhale, exhale down. Let's bring that knee up. We're taking just a few extra minutes to stretch. We're going to extend that leg now without curving the back. Bring your chin toward that foot, toward your toes. Hold on to your chair with one hand or both. To deepen the stretch, I reach out with the same arm. Back stays long. You're going to stretch from the back of your heel right into that hip. It's wonderful. Choices here. Bend that knee, flex the foot. You're lifting the toes. You can cross at the ankle to stretch that inner thigh. Hinge slightly forward. Or for a little deeper stretch through the thigh and hip area, you can cross above the knee. We want to keep this foot flexed to protect that bent knee. And I'm just keeping my back long and hinging forward at the hips until I say, wow, that's a great stretch right there. Coming back, we're going to curve our back toward the chair, nose toward knee. Other side, left leg forward. You can see I've got my little kitty here. He likes to get in the middle of everything. Back is long, head above heart. We don't want to drop that head above heart and have rapid blood pressure changes. No fainting. Slowly bring it up. We're bending that knee, lifting the toes. Again, you choose. Might be different this side than the other leg. Listen to your hips, listen to your knees. Either choice, that foot, left foot is flexed, and we're just hinging forward at the hips, keeping the back long, just enough till you feel a great stretch in that left hip. We get to release. We're hugging that knee to the chest, curve the back toward the chair, bring your nose towards your knee. You can always do some additional stretching, but let's take a deep breath in. Wiggle those fingers out. One more time, breathing in and out. Thank you so much for joining me today. Give yourselves a hand. Even if you're alone out there, give yourself a hand. Join me again. It's recommended strength training be done 2 to 3 times a week, but you want a little rest day in between. Let those muscles recover days in between. Those other days, a great time to do just some stretching and flexibility work, walking, biking, swimming, aerobic of any sort. So make sure you get that heart pumping at least 150 minutes a week. And don't forget the strength training. We are strengthening muscles, strengthening bone, and research says that we're strengthening our brain as well. So good job. Thank you so much for coming today.